We open up this episode with all the servants gathering at the main staircase. Mrs. Russell instructs them to act as one team and help out wherever they can. So the wedding is taking place, so she wants everything to be perfect, obviously, and I just can't believe that this is happening so fast. Next we see Agnes gets a new outfit and the messy tailor tells her that there's a discrepancy over the bill. Ada says she'll pay the bill. And I think word is going to get out that Agnes is broke. Ooh, this is not going to be good. Jack tells his fellow servants that Larry received a letter from the investor and they want to meet again. Next, Mr. Russell storms in and hands Bertha a newspaper. Details of Gladys's wedding gown has gotten out. In this scene, Larry also questioned why his aunt wasn't invited and expresses his disapproval of this whole scenario. Next, we see that Agnes comes home early and finds Ada and the cook and a medium in the middle of a seance. Agnes asks the swindler to leave and basically expresses that this is nonsense and tells Ada to just basically not get swindled out of her money. Ada gets upset with her and leaves. Obviously, she is still mourning Luke. And, Agnes is hard. But, girl, this is not it. Next, we see Bertha's sister arrive, and she was clearly not thrilled to see her. Larry is so happy and greets his Aunt Monica, as well as Mr. Russell. Next, we see Peggy and her mother meet with the colorist Heffa and her son, Dr. Kirkland. She talks about only wanting to be a good wife and mother. Peggy wants to be a good wife and mother and get the vote. I know that's right, Peggy. This Heffa, her old ways. No one's thinking about her. Bertha and her sister catch up. Aunt Monica says she's wearing her same dress to dinner, to tea, and whatever. It's the only one she got, and this is just gonna have to do. I know that's right, Aunt Monica. You better remind Bertha about her humble beginnings. Bertha seems so annoyed. Agnes and Marion have a brief conversation about why Mrs. Russell would invite her to be in the wedding. Marion obviously feeling a bit insecure about her courtship with Larry. Agnes assures her that Mrs. Russell is the lucky one. Next, we see Larry and Jack meet with the investors, and they offer Jack $600,000 for his invention and his patent, of course. They're not looking for any partners, so they just want to give him the money and own everything. Jack's face is just like surprise. I don't think he thought they would be offered that much money. And back in that time, I do believe it was around like $20 million. So yeah, Larry shakes on it and, they're good to go. Next, we see that the Russell servants figure out the dressmaker has possibly been leaking information to the press. They seem to be relieved that they're off the hook, for now at least. Larry and Jack arrive back home from their meeting. Jack appears to be still in shock and asks Larry that's it? There's nothing more to be done about the clock? Larry responds, that's it. We couldn't have hoped for a better deal. Jack further explains he thought he would be working on it for the rest of his life. What will I do now? I wonder. Larry responds, you mean now that you're almost as rich as Mrs. Forte and much richer than Mrs. Van Ryan? Jack decides to keep the news of his newfound wealth to himself. Next, we see Peggy giving her speech. Aurora shows her support and thanks Peggy for educating her on the discriminatory laws that were being passed. Next thing you know, the colorist Heffa pops up to congratulate Peggy and asks, where's Mr. Scott? Peggy's mother informs her he had business to attend to at his pharmacy. The colorist Heffa goes on to say, well, his history is quite different from ours, isn't it? He's not a Newport man, is he? Not like us. Peggy's mom says he's a business owner, a proud husband and father. How is that any different from you? She better stand up for her man. Yes, Mrs. Scott. Mr. Kirkland informs his wife that Newport isn't the center of everyone's universe. They excuse themselves. Mrs. Kirkland then asks Dr. Kirkland, her son, will he be coming? This is going to come to a head. Mrs. Kirkland must be red for filth at this point. Next, we see the Russells are having dinner with the Duke and his sister, and Aunt Monica is asking the hard questions. And it's getting the real tea. Bertha instructs Church to give her a damaged coffee cup so she can spill it all over her dress. So she can get the hell up out of there. Bertha does not want her at this dinner. Next, we see Mr. and Mrs. Russell discuss what happened over dinner in this forced marriage. He asks why couldn't she just marry a banker and be happy? Mrs. Russell tells him to go to bed and wake up sensible. Girl, what? Oh my God, like you... man, I think her and Mr. Russell would be very close to divorce. Like, the way that she just dismissed him. All right, Bertha. Next, we see Jack tells the cook about his newfound wealth and tells the cook he wants to keep it to himself and continue to work at the Van Ryan household. It's the only house that he's known, that he's lived in. They're the only family that he's had. So, I think he just wants to give himself a bit of a transition period before he leaves. So, it's understandable, but he shouldn't be getting paid while he's nearly as rich as Mrs. Forte. So, we'll see what happens. Next, we see Gladys will not come out of her room. Bertha asks Marion to talk to Gladys so she can proceed with the wedding. Next, we see J.P. Morgan abruptly meets with Mr. Russell and explains he's withdrawing his support from the railroad expansion and informs him he's playing a risky game and should reconsider his position. George is determined to move forward with this project. I'm so concerned. Next, we see Agnes reading gossip from the newspaper. Oscar informs his mother he's gained 2 new clients, which brings him up to 12. What is Oscar doing for these clients? You must watch the gays. So I'm guessing he's investing money for them and making them wealthier. It is, his profession. So we'll see what happens. Mrs. Astor has a talk with her daughter about her shenanigans and tells her she will not attend the wedding with her. As much as she cannot stand Mrs. Russell, she will not bring controversy into her daughter's wedding. And that's that. People begin to gather at the church. Mr. Russell talks to Gladys and tells her if she doesn't want to marry the Duke, that it's her decision, but she must live with the consequences. He tells her if she doesn't come down in 10 minutes, he'll go to the church and will tell everyone the wedding is off. Mrs. Astor suspects everyone knows about her daughter's tea, and it has been giving everyone attitude. She needs to calm down. She's a bit paranoid, but hey, I get it. Don't want that reputation and name stain. The head cook proposes to the head maid of the Russell household. She tells him she can't marry him because she's already married. What? Her husband was diagnosed with a mental illness and has been in an asylum for years now. So this is interesting. We have secrets. So I would like to see where this goes, because I do think they make a cute couple and she should probably move on. Gladys finally arrives at the church with her father. She walks down the aisle in tears and she completes the ceremony. Bertha is happy, everyone is celebrating, and we watch the quote-unquote happy couple go off into the sunset. Next, we see her getting ready for bed on her boat. The Duke enters the room and asks if her mother explained her wifely duties. She explains yes, and that her mother mentioned it will hurt. He tells her it's only for the first time and she'll begin to enjoy it over time. She asks if he's not tired after the long day. He says he's not that tired and prefers to get awkward things out of the way. He insists, and they proceed to go to the bed so they can wake up a proper man and wife in the morning. And this is where the episode ends. Man, I feel so bad for Gladys, but at this point, I think Gladys just probably wanted this whole thing to be over with, probably wanted to get away from her mom, and just everything surrounding this. She's going over to England, right? Just far away from home to be this man's wife and to be a duchess and all of those things. And I'm worried about her, but I just hope everything turns out okay. And the way that he insisted that they basically consummate their marriage. I just, gosh, I just felt so bad for Gladys, but we'll see how this turns out. I like that, hey, Jack has succeeded and Jack is wealthy now, but I don't know how I feel about him just like staying on and like still getting paid when he doesn't need it. So I'm sure like that will come to an head, it will be addressed. But you know, I'm looking forward to seeing how he further progresses in the future because he was already thinking about his next invention. So I think Jack is going to be super successful. So yeah, we'll just see where his storyline goes. Bertha, man, I just, go to bed, George, and wake up sensible. I don't know, and the way that he looked at her and paused, man, you gotta be careful how you talk to people. That is your husband. I mean, gosh, I'm not a misogynist or anything, but if he would have said the same thing to her, I would have felt some type of way. You have someone's heart in your hand, man. You gotta be careful how you speak to people. So we'll see where this goes, but I just have a feeling this marriage is gonna be strained for the rest of the season. That was the episode. Like, once again, beautiful gowns, like, well written. Love the cinematography. Like, I mean, everything is just really consistent and well done. So, love the drama of it all. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just give this episode a solid B+. If you like this review, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.